I'm Callie Lewis. You're watching Geek Brief TV. This is Brief 479. If you've been remotely connected to the web today, you can guess what my first story is. Steve Jobs will no longer be doing keynotes at Macworld, and this will be the last year Apple exhibits at the event in San Francisco. There will be a keynote in January, but it'll be delivered by Phil Schiller. I like Phil, but this is pretty devastating news for those of us in the cult of Mac. Apple PR says trade shows have become a very minor part of how Apple reaches its customers. I recently read that Apple stores are visited by 85,000 people a day, and Apple believes its stores are the new best way to interact with its customers. You have to know I'm disappointed, but transitioning Apple away from the Steve Jobs keynote at Macworld is probably a big part of transitioning Apple away from its dependence on Steve Jobs. When CBS paid $1.8 billion for CNET, they were buying more than a great source of tech news. They were buying some of the best domain names it's possible to own, including mp3.com, news.com, and tv.com. It looks like tv.com is going to be redeveloped as a site that competes with Hulu. tv.com has a healthy community of television enthusiasts, and CBS may be adding actual television to the enthusiasm. NBC and Fox have done a great job winning over new media skeptics with Hulu. Now it's CBS's turn to try with tv.com. Let's hope they get it right. You know how Leo Laporte sits on an inflatable ball instead of a chair? It's supposed to provide health benefits that come from constant movement. Gamerox is meant to provide the same kind of benefits to kids playing video games. It allows movement in any direction, but that movement is limited to what's safe. It promotes body movement with the hope that kids will develop better coordination, balance, and spatial awareness. I'm hoping for insight from you guys because I don't play any games where it makes sense to sit while playing. Gamerox, good idea or bad idea? Leave a comment in the show notes for Brief 479. Stainless steel has been the trendy standard for kitchen appliances for a while. IKEA has a new idea they're using in their DÅTID line, which includes some ovens, some stovetops, some exhaust hoods, and a microwave. They all have a matte anthracite finish that looks modern and classic at the same time. No doubt I like the new line, but it seems a little strange to me that it doesn't include some sink options and a couple fridge options. Hopefully other options are in the works. I like stainless, but I like the idea of an alternative that looks just as good or better. Thanks to everyone who stopped by our streaming Christmas party with Jeff Smith. Almost 14,000 of you dropped in for at least a little of it, and 80 of you came in person. We'll release some of the highlights between the week of Christmas and Macworld. This episode is made possible by GoDaddy.com. When you guys use my promo codes GB1, GB2, or GB3, you save money at GoDaddy.com, and we get to pay the bills. Thanks for that, and thanks for watching The Brief.
All I ever wanted on my Christmas morning was you.
I think Natalie is worth at least 0.8 of that 1.8 billion. You know how Leo Laporte sits on an inflatable ball instead of a chair? It's supposed to provide health. I don't know why that cracked me up. Sounded like from Hank Hill.